Welcome back.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Oh,
You heard that phrase?
oh,
It's
yeah.
been a minute.
Yeah, been a hot minute.
Been a hot minute, babes.
Get with the kids.
Do you know what? I've been genuinely really quite nervous about this one. I was
Oh,
excited last week.
yeah,
Now it's come.
yeah.
I'm brooking it.
Oh, don't be nervous. I just haven't even really thought about it, to be honest. But we both agreed that we found it quite therapeutic. Bit of counselling, bit of
Yes.
therapy, bit of therapy.
Bit of therapy.
Mm.
And, well, hold on. We're kind of going off a bit. Well, I think we need to go back to the beginning, don't we? Because a lot has changed. It's been a
Yeah,
few months.
yeah,
4 or 5 months?
yeah.
4 or 5 months. Lots have changed. I've put weight on,
As have I.
even though I've tried to lose it. It's gone the opposite way. I think
More.
something's broken, but we'll talk about that in another episode. There's a whole new look.
Yes, there's a
There's
new
a new
vibe.
look, new vibe, which we've kind of now dubbed as season two. Wasn't it? I promise it's still as before, where it's not rehearsed. It's just us talking a load of gibberish, and hopefully you might out of 30, 40 minutes take a golden nugget.
Yeah, we have decided still to not have it regimented with exact quotes and all the
Can I
rest
just
of
stop
it.
you there?
Oh,
Because we've just
here
had
we
a
go.
pre-talk about where we need to put our head on our microphone, and she started with her head here, lined up perfectly. And now what's happened is her head's gone like this, and so it's going to go from really quite loud and normal to
And
and then going back loud, really quiet. So please adjust your mic throughout, but every time you touch the mic, it'll make a noise. Get yourself in a position and relax.
we
We
start
literally
again.
spent 15 minutes going over this. And within 30 seconds, she's going, oh, everywhere but the mic.
Happy?
Ish. I'll
Well,
see you
yours is
afterwards.
4 fingers further away. If you had got fatter fingers than me.
This is true. This is true. Not going to deny that. Yeah, mine's about probably 15 fingers.
Anyway, carry on as you were.
So a lot has changed.
Mm.
As I say, new look. So for those that
Mhm.
are listening, they might have noticed a different intro music.
Yeah.
And there isn't the bloopers at the beginning. We're taking those out, even though she just said to me now, literally just before we went live, "Oh, we still put the bloopers at the beginning." Even though I've been through this with you, I don't know how many
Well, they
times.
weren't even bloopers, though, were they? They were just bits that
Bloopers,
we were
intro
talking
bits,
about.
whatever. But you've seen the
Yeah.
new intro. You're like, I love it, I love it. And now literally go live. Oh, wait, we're not putting the bloopers in. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
just been through this. Anyway, so if you're listening, you will have noticed a new intro. But if you're watching, or if you see us on socials,
Mm. Different
everything
vibes.
is different vibes.
Mm.
So it's a new look,
Yep.
new feel,
And we're both a little
new
larger.
look, new feel. I don't know what else to say really.
Mm.
We've got
Yeah.
plants.
Well, we just thought it made sense to start it as a new season because it was a different feel. We were like a deer in headlights the first time. I don't think we were ready or prepared as such.
Still don't think we are ready.
No, I agree. I was going to say you would think you would be for season 2 as such, but because I think we did
Every
about.
time we do season 2, we're going to go season 2 because you've kind of done it every time. You've just done the mini ones.
We just said we weren't going to talk over each other as well before we
Oh, sorry,
started.
darling.
And it's been a hot minute.
A hot minute. No,
and
that
it's already
means it's been a
and
long
he's still
time.
going.
Back to normal. Nothing's changed.
Now I've lost my trail of thought. Yeah, no. So we thought make sense to be season 2 because the first time we were just sort of stumbling our way, really didn't know, and then we had some positive feedback, had some interesting comments that weren't necessarily.
Well, we had some pretty nasty comments, really, didn't we? Some
Yeah.
people weren't exactly very polite and friendly, shall we say.
Yeah.
And actually, funny enough, the ones we didn't ask for feedback from.
Yeah.
Yeah, they threw their
But,
2 cents in.
There's always going to be people that can do it bigger and better, so let them carry on. But until then, we're just doing it because we enjoy doing it. We find it therapeutic, and we have had more and more people say, "What's happened to the podcast? Are you not doing the podcast? I really enjoyed it." So we thought, okay, well, there's actually more than just our mum and dad listening.
As we always said, yeah.
No,
Mum
so
and Dad.
it was really quite nice. So yeah, we're going to carry on.
That was really interesting because you get your stats, don't you, online about how many people view and
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and you see it as a number, but I think the numbers are I think they're quite difficult to understand sometimes. So I'm not saying we were the top of the charts or anything like that, but we were more than happy with the numbers we were getting, which was great because we just started. We'd done no advertising on it whatsoever, really.
No,
so
and I'd sort of dropped the ball with the socials and things.
we started, and we just got busy with everything
Yeah.
as sort of life gets in the way. But what was really interesting were when we stopped, so we stopped at Christmas, wasn't it? Just before Christmas was our
Yeah.
last one, where we
Mhm.
did a cheers to everybody, with every intention to come back in the new year. But
Mm.
things just
Mm.
literally time just ran away with us, and we'll go through in a little while what we've been up
Mm.
to. But during that time, we had lots of people come to us saying, "Oh, when you're doing a podcast, I really enjoy the podcast," and people that
Mm.
we didn't even think were listening,
Yeah.
or even just people on LinkedIn, have just commented generally
Yeah,
saying, "When are you
like,
doing
not
your
even
podcast again?"
friends,
Yeah,
like, that
just
as
randoms.
such, so, yeah, that was nice.
So it kind of got me thinking that I think I've read this before, anyway, but I've started to believe this because we talked about this the other week actually about LinkedIn. About
Is it Ghost Watchers? No, I don't think it is.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
Ghostbusters,
No.
but, like, Silent Watchers or whatever it is. I don't know.
Stalkers.
Let's
Different
hope not.
podcast. But yeah, people that basically
Mm.
don't engage with you, so they don't
Yeah.
like, they don't comment,
Mm.
but
Mm.
they're
Mm.
watching you.
Yeah, yeah.
It is like stalking, isn't it?
We all
Predators.
no, no, but we all do
um,
it.
but
You do
do
watch
we?
no, but you watch certain things and just because you don't like it or
Yeah, no.
comment on it doesn't mean you're
So,
not.
and interestingly, we were saying that probably 90% of the business we get from LinkedIn
Mm.
comes from people that have never liked or never
Mm,
commented.
mm,
And I
mm,
think similar thing was the
mm,
and we never did the podcast really to get business. It was more of
mm.
just a trying to help people, wasn't it? Trying to people that might
Well,
go through similar journeys we're going through, husband and wife, or working a family, and
yeah,
just trying to
just
fumble
running
your
your own
way through
business,
life.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
And we just wanted to be honest, didn't we?
yeah, because we're
Because
fed up of
we
seeing all
felt
the good
like
stuff.
some people only talk about all the great.
Well, that most people do because it's. I don't know if it's more interesting to listen to. I don't know, but
Mm,
I just thought we both kind of agreed that we wanted to be a bit more honest and show that there are
yeah,
good times, yeah, absolutely. But there's also
yeah.
some pretty
Mm.
naff times as
Sucky
well. Some
times.
sucky times because I'm
Mm.
still doing the non-swearing thing.
Yeah.
Um, so it was really interesting how many people came back and said,
Mm.
"Oh, when are you doing another one?" Or "I've watched it. My wife watches it, or my
Yeah, yeah.
daughter watches it in Australia. I've told her to watch it, and she loves it."
Mm,
And it was like,
mm.
wow,
Yeah.
we've got to come back and do it.
Mm,
And not that we had
mm.
never had any intentions of not doing it, but it just time just
Yeah. I mean,
kind of ran
yeah,
away with
January
us.
just was busy getting back into it. It's our son's birthday.
Yeah,
Then it's Valentine's Day, and of course we're ever so busy.
we
Not
weren't.
really sure the reason in February.
No.
But no, we've got a new team in at work at Thread a
We had a lot
Pixel.
of staff
And so
changes.
that was obviously a real focus, getting them to feel welcome, understand the ropes, and yeah, just yeah, we'll just feel like we haven't
Well,
prioritized
there's
it, I
been loads,
suppose,
isn't there? Because,
and
like you say,
mm,
there was the New Year, then January was always a bit of a difficult month for everyone, isn't
mm,
it? So
getting
then we
going.
had, like I said, a lot of staff change, like you say. So there
Mm,
was upskilling people,
mm,
repositioning people in the team, moving departments, that
mm,
kind of things, which was
mm,
all really exciting.
mm.
Then we had new showroom launch. So
Yeah, so
we
yeah,
redid the showroom.
I love the royal we. I painted a wall with our son, and
Yeah,
Chris
which you didn't do
literally
very
did.
well, which I probably had to do over again. But the thought was there. It's all that
Yes,
matters.
yes. I made a cup of tea and brought a bacon
Yes. Well,
sandwich.
exactly. I couldn't do it without the fueling exercise. So, so we did this
Yeah.
showroom with our launch event, which again was really quite humbling. How many
Yeah,
people
that
came?
was brilliant. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
that was a really good turnout. I know because I just changed my profile picture on LinkedIn this
I
week,
noticed.
and I remembered that was the picture that you took because, I think we said everyone to come from 11:30 or yeah, so we were sort of
Something like
ready
that.
from 11, and so we were sort of stood there and we were like a few of the team were there and we're just like, "So shall we just get on with something until someone comes?" Or like,
Yeah, the
so
awkward moments.
what can we
Yeah.
do? So yeah, it was quite funny, wasn't it? And then it was like buses and like everyone
Yeah.
seemed to come and it was really good and then people would leave and then others came. So it was a really good day and then someone came, one of our lovely customers came right at the end and just enjoyed a beer and it was great.
Yeah.
I'd taken my shoes off by that time.
It was just a good day, wasn't it? So again, another humbling experience of
Yeah,
people that
yeah.
it's always. It might sound really cheesy and like we fake this and we don't mean it, but genuinely,
Mm,
to me, and I know you do as well because we talk about it afterwards.
mm.
It's really humbling how people give up their free time
Yeah, yeah, to come and
to come and
support.
support us because
Yeah.
they are in to all intents and purposes, although we don't see our customers as customers, we see it as
Mm,
partnerships.
mm,
They're our customers. They purchase from
mm,
us, and we
mm,
always try and purchase from our customers as well because it's all
mm,
about sharing
mm,
and helping and supporting. But obviously, we can't do that with everybody, as I'm
mm,
sure they can't with all of their customers. So,
mm.
for them to give up time to come and see us, a supplier,
Yeah, yeah.
and support us
Mm,
is really, like I say, it's really humbling for me.
yeah.
And it really
No, it
means
was
a
really
lot.
nice.
And Like you said, that last customer in particular, where it was the end
Mm.
of the day, and he sort of rang in and he said, "Has
Yeah.
anyone been able to pop over?" And you said, "No, but it's okay. It's not a problem." And he's like, "Well,
Yeah.
what time is it on till?" And
Yeah,
you're like, "We're
yeah.
here to right. I'm coming over now."
Yeah.
And this is the MD of a big
Yeah, yeah.
international company
Yeah,
who
yeah.
just made the effort. Said, "No, right. Don't worry. If you still want to,
Mm.
if you want to hang around, I'm more than happy to come and have a look and see what you've been up to,"
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, it was lovely.
So
So that
everybody
that
that
was really
came, thank you.
nice.
It
Yeah,
was
it
really
really
nice.
was lovely. It was a really nice turnout.
So there was that. There was the showroom. There's been lots happening
Mm.
at work, and the podcast. It just kind of just went on and on, wasn't it? We'll do it next
Mm.
month. We'll do it next month, and then
Yeah.
I think we both sort of said we weren't that happy with the look and the feel of it last time in terms of the aesthetics, not the
Mm.
way it was produced or anything, just like how it
Mm.
looked.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was really our style, and it was
Well, it was just rushed together really, wasn't it? We
yeah.
just we just put it together, and then I guess we've had a bit more time to sort of think about it. So and make it a bit more us, maybe?
I
Yeah.
think this is more us. This is more
Mm.
aesthetically us. The intro
Mm.
seems more us. The music,
Mm.
and this is interesting because
Mm.
obviously this is being filmed and we edit
Mm.
it afterwards. Although
I
there
hope
isn't an
it's
awful lot of
recorded.
editing. Imagine. Um, yeah, because we're so out of practice. I think I tricked all the cameras 3 times, and I keep
Uh-huh.
looking over at the audio to make sure the audio is
How
still
are
recording.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I've lost my train of thought. Oh no,
Um,
this is where
yeah,
you
we were
wish it
saying it
wasn't
was a
live.
different look. It
Right?
was a
Yes.
different look.
So we're not sure, or I'm not sure, because I don't think I've said this to you. Because we love music, right? We always have music on at
Yeah,
work. It
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
gets us going and get
Mm, mm,
upbeat and stuff.
mm.
Whether we'll have music playing
Oh,
on the edit
yeah.
whilst we're talking. We haven't done it in the room now,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a live,
yeah,
because then
yeah,
we can
yeah.
change music if we want to and so
Yeah.
forth. So
I quite
we're
like the
not
idea of that.
sure whether this is going to have
Lift
background
music.
green sleeves in the background.
Du-du-du-du-du.
Or
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You are on hold. You are important
diddle-diddle-diddle,
to us. Dun.
diddle-diddle-diddle. Or yeah, so we don't know if it's going to have
You
it or
wouldn't
not.
have Ghostbusters, would
Why
you?
not? You could
You'd
have
have
green
some
sleeves,
jazz. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
right?
I forget we're on film sometimes.
Yeah. Jesus, can you keep your head in front of the mic?
Not when I'm laughing. Don't want to hear that.
No, yeah,
Like a
that's true.
foghorn.
Oh, I bet I look really attractive. Oh.
Jesus.
So, if you're watching the podcast, you
Mm,
will notice the new look.
mm.
Totally different.
Same location,
Same
different
location,
look.
back of the garden,
Mm.
because we're still out of space. We still have no, and
Yeah,
we did look at the office,
yeah,
didn't we, about if we could move it around and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Because interestingly, again, we had people say, "Oh, are you doing that? It's really good." And we started thinking, "Oh,
yeah.
there was
Where
a
are you
business
doing that?
opportunity that sort of
Yeah,
came to mind, which I can't
yeah,
tell you about in case you copy it.
yeah. So we've got something on the back
But
burner, potential.
we tried looking, see if we could move it to work, and just no
Yeah.
space. So,
Mm,
um, so it's still in the back garden, in the garden
mm,
office,
mm.
and it's still the same as before, where half of the room is nicely decorated like this. But if we were to turn the cameras around, you'd all be like, "What
Right.
on earth?" It's just a mess. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, new look, and
mm.
interesting. We've achieved this look on
I love the royal
tiny,
we once again.
tiny budget. Well, it is us, isn't it? Because you allow me
Oh,
creative
bless you.
control. So
Well, yeah, because if I get involved, it'll look all vintage
yeah,
and like
we
rustic,
just got different
and
looks.
you just like it clean and modern.
Yeah.
But I do like that look, but I love a bit of
Mm,
vintage. So, and we tried to do that in the dining room,
I
and
didn't.
now it just looks rubbish. No one
Yeah.
likes it.
No.
It's like, oh, it just doesn't work.
No.
So I think, and then the bedroom, done the same in the bedroom. So we've got like vintagey wallpaper and a sort of semi vintage leather sleigh bed, and nice vintage curtains, and then modern
Because they were a bargain.
cupboards.
They were a bargain.
They are nice,
Yeah.
but it's not what I envisaged. So then
Will you
again,
stop
that's not
knocking my plant? Honestly.
so. Stop
People will realise it's
knocking the real plant. It could
people will realise it's
die.
fake.
It might die. um. So yeah. I just had to. I've got to. Otherwise, it's just going to look another. I can't
Mismatch.
swear. Mismatch.
Mismatch.
Yeah.
So, maybe I don't know if we should do this in this podcast. Maybe in a
Mm,
different podcast we could talk
mm.
about because one of the things we also spoke
Oh
about
yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
trying to.
You wanted to talk about how to.
Well,
Mm.
I think that it's easy to make things look good when you want to spend a lot of money on something.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this looks good. Everyone's taste. That's what I love about design. Actually, it's all subjective, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it's nice to one isn't
Yeah.
nice to another. But this is my kind of look and feel. Not
Yeah.
exactly as I want it, of course, but
Yeah.
I want to sort of show people that you can do things without spending a fortune, and you can do it on
Mm.
a budget if you want to. I
Mm.
mean, this chair, a little thing. We've had this chair for what, 10 years?
No, I was thinking about it. We got it before Parker. I think you've had it 15.
15 years. This was the
At
bargain.
least 15, because it was when we were in a different house and we've been in this house 12
Right, here we
years.
go. So we're talking at least 15 years old, right? Now, this chair, now, okay, it's seen better days,
Mm.
but there is a reason why, and I'll explain it in a minute. But this was the bargain of the century, wasn't it? This was
Yeah.
from Lee Longlands,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. And I can't remember how much it was. I want to say like £100 or something.
No, I think it was 200 or
Was it?
250.
But I think its proper price should have been. It was a lot of
1,200 or
money. I can't
something.
remember. And it was just we just both looked at it and were like, "Love that chair. Got to have that chair."
Mm, mm,
And we had it in the lounge for a bit, and then it
mm.
kind of, as time's gone, it's kind of become the unadopted child, hasn't it? Where it's kind of just been like, "Oh, where could I
Where,
put the
where are we going to
chair?
put that? Because
Where's
it's
that
not
going to go?"
that small.
So it's moved around the house and all the rest of it, and now
Yeah.
it's got a new home.
Yeah.
Podcast
So you're
podcast
happy.
chair. So
Yeah.
this is my chair.
Mm.
And then I knew 15 years ago, all those years ago,
That it would
at some point in
come
the
in.
future, I envisioned a
Mm.
podcast
Mm.
in a garden with a chair. That was, remember that for the lottery? The crystal ball, what was her name? Mystic Meg.
Oh, yeah.
I envisage
Oh, yeah.
a family with children working a job. You will win the lot. Was it something like that?
Yeah, but it was a bit cringe, a bit like
Yeah.
that. But
So yeah, and there's other bits in here. There's not much that's new, to be honest. A lot of it is reclaimed,
no,
hand me
this my
downs.
parents were getting rid of. So I was like, hold on.
Hold on, yeah.
Because we were actually
Rewind.
we were actually spent the last few weekends looking for a chair for me,
Yeah.
and we saw a beautiful yellow one. That was in Lee Longland's
Hmm.
sale as well. It was stunning, but it did have a few marks on it we weren't happy with, and we're unsure. And then I mentioned it to my parents, and they were like, "Oh, we're thinking of getting rid of this because we've got two, and we're having to move around." Um, so yeah, it's just as well we didn't get the yellow one because you've gone for this tonal theme.
Yes, exactly. So,
And we don't need to sit next to each other,
oh,
so it's a nice
hallelujah.
change.
Don't just smell the bow.
Mm,
The bow.
the bow.
The
I
bow.
don't smell a bow
And you look
today.
very glamorous today, I must say. You look very pretty. Very
Aw,
glamorous.
very pretty.
Very pretty.
It's very kind, and
Yeah,
you
you
look
do.
very handsome.
Thank you.
We're actually going out for dinner later. Right? You're doing the face. We've both adopted this new face. I don't know what reason we do
We
it.
do
and
this sometimes.
You started
I'm
it
going to cry.
because on The Apprentice,
Let me just say before you say this, I think this guy is actually really quite handsome. So this isn't a
yeah, you do
negative
think he's
thing. I think
handsome.
he's a good-looking fella.
Oh yeah, I'm not
But
taking the mick.
no, but for some reason, sometimes,
Just
so
people
I
have
just want to,
traits,
I
don't
just want
they?
to set this scene though. So this is not a Mickey taking thing. It's just
No,
sometimes
no,
people
no.
do things, and I'm sure other couples must do this as well behind closed doors. But
Mhm.
you mimic them, and you just have a
Yeah.
bit of a laugh about
Yeah,
it. And
yeah,
people
yeah.
do about me stuff all the time. But this is something that this guy does. Which, but I just
Mm.
wanted to set that scene. This isn't
Oh
a
yeah, no, we've
Mickey
got
taking thing. It's
no, he's
I
fantastic.
think he's very attractive.
Um,
I genuinely do.
no, so it's Alan Sugar's one of Alan Sugar's right hand men.
Tim Campbell, I think it is.
Tim, yeah. So he's on the board of him, like the three of them on The Apprentice. I know that, yeah, with the three of them in total.
With
So yeah, it's
Miss
Karen Brady,
No, it's not Miss Brady, is it?
Lady Karen.
Baroness Brady. She's very
Oh,
particular.
oh,
Baroness Brady.
I'm a
With
fan of
fair,
her.
fair play. Yeah,
I've
and
got a
me.
crush on
Yeah,
her.
and me.
Right.
It's that power, isn't it? It's like that powerful woman kind of.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. Well,
thanks.
yeah, she is. She's attractive, energy
Yeah.
wise, success,
Oh yeah,
looks,
yeah.
and she seems lovely as well. So anyway, so he's been doing. You noticed it. In the program, and we can both do our own impression into the camera, into our own camera, maybe. And he subtly goes,
So now we've just started doing
"That's
it.
going to be
Everything.
really unattractive, isn't
Yeah,
it?"
like the pouting. Go on. But
You do it into the camera.
uh,
He doesn't do it like that.
I'm exaggerating it then.
He just does it like concentrated. I think it's just like a habit. So he's like listening and like, and you
Yeah,
picked up on it.
but it's the twitches that happens.
Yeah,
That's why I do it as like a bit of a more expert.
it's just a
Right,
bit of
right.
a habit I think he's got when he's listening or sort of semi-smiling because he's so like quite,
Well, you
professional.
do this when you're when you're
Oh yeah,
concentrating.
well, I'm terrible. I do this.
I eat a lot of
When I
teeth.
used to do the hairdressing, I'd be doing people's hair and I'd be like,
Yeah, like a grandma lost her teeth, cutting them a veg. Mm, yeah.
Parker does it now, our
Yeah, I
son, and he's
know.
concentrating. He's like,
I know. So we've all got our things.
so anyway, so now Chris and I have started doing this thing when we're sort of, I don't know what when we do it, we're just being silly, which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
We found ourselves just doing that face, and it's quite funny.
So if you ever see us, this is random pulling it
It's
out,
become a
that's
habit.
filled
We've
in
done it for
wine.
a few months.
Yeah. I'm sure in a few weeks it'll change to something else. Because before we used to go, right,
Yeah.
right. And
If we were like, "You what, mate?"
yeah, right. Because you can't swear in front of your lad, can you? You can't say, you,
No.
right.
Or at work in front of the team,
Yeah.
just need to be like, "Right," to each other. Oh,
So,
dear. So
yeah.
what were we saying after that? So then we've done that habit, haven't we?
We were talking about the look, I think, weren't
Yeah.
we? So, and how we can get a
Mm,
budget and stuff. So, we
mm,
wanted to start in some other podcasts, maybe being a bit more specific on some of the things. And one of the ones we wanted to
mm.
talk about
Want
was
to do an episode on?
uh, how you can, because a lot of people said to us as well, oh, we're going to do a podcast. And I'm
Mm.
like, great, yeah, do it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
nobody seems to do it. I see one thing I've
Mm,
noticed, and in America, this has been happening for years, I think, and they're much
mm.
more free and open about giving information for free.
Yeah.
So it's like this, whether it is or isn't, I don't know, but there's almost like this genuine feeling wanting to help people, even if they are a
Mm.
competitor,
Yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah.
And
Mm,
interesting, I mentioned this to your brother because they live, him and his wife live in California, Los Angeles.
mm,
This thing that Americans seem much more open to giving information, much more
mm,
free with it. And
Less
England,
competitive.
yeah, and Britain seems much more like, oh, that's
Mm,
mine. I'm not giving that away.
mm,
You pay for that if you want that.
mm.
And his thing was maybe because it's bigger and there's more
Yeah.
opportunity. I don't know. But
Mm,
in this country, like I say, people don't really do it. It does happen, but not anywhere near as much as it
mm,
does
mm,
in the US. And I wanted to sort of talk about how you could set up a podcast or how our listeners or viewers could set up a podcast
mm,
without spending a lot of money. I mean,
mm.
we have some good kit. There's no doubt about it. We've got
Yeah.
cameras. Could mean part of
Mm,
this new refresh, we've introduced a third camera now to
mm,
get better camera angles.
mm,
But you can do it without spending a lot of money.
mm,
I'm convinced. In fact, I know I can because,
mm,
okay, we've got new arms for the mics and stuff, but these mics,
mm,
I think, I don't know exactly, maybe 120 quid brand new, but I
mm,
picked these up for about 40 quid secondhand.
mm,
You don't have to use these mics, you can use other mics.
mm,
There's lots of things you can do. And we wanted the whole podcast on that, don't we, about how
mm,
you can do a podcast for not a lot of money, basically.
mm.
And one of the things we really want to talk about is, and this is one of the other reasons we've been silent for a few months and not been able to do a podcast, is because you've been
Oh,
going
yeah.
through,
That old chestnut.
I think you should introduce it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm officially in perimenopause. So yeah, yeah, I've just been a bit of a roller coaster, like emotionally, mentally, just finding myself as such. Yeah, like so that's been a bit of an experience because you're like, am I going mad? And then the research shows that there is like 52 symptoms of the perimenopause,
Mm,
so it's like quite a big thing. So it's hard to know when you actually are because a lot of those symptoms can just be general life and day to day things. So it can be easy to just assume it is that, but there are other factors that can really help in diagnosis. I mean, from the research I've done, a good doctor will listen to your symptoms rather than just saying imminently, "Well, you're too old."
right.
And I've heard that from so many
You're
women
too
on the
young.
research. Sorry, you're too old, too young.
Too young.
Shit, glad you're there.
Yeah, you should be
There
dead.
we
Forget
go. There we go.
perimenopause. You're dead.
No, you're too young to be going through
Yeah.
perimenopause. When yes, normally it does start at 40s plus, but it can start in your 30s, and so yeah, it's just being aware of that. I mean, it's been more rare to start in your 30s, but you can't just dismiss it.
No.
And if you can have help, then it's definitely worth looking at. And then, yeah, I spoke to a friend who is a heart specialist as well, and she said that it is not used as much using like your heart rate. That can really show as well. And on my um, Apple Watch, we'd noticed that my heart rate had been very high for quite a while. So
Yeah.
we're looking into that, and I've got an ECG booked. So that'll be interesting. But that's a bit of a different kettle of fish, I think, that.
But
Um,
we just wanted to. So that was one of the other topics, wasn't it? Is
yeah.
perimenopause in general, what it's like going through it,
Yeah.
because it's the I don't know if it's the onset. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
what it's like for you and how you've been dealing with it. I suppose how you
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
dealt with it and now are trying to deal with it,
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
because you were trying to run from it, just because maybe you
Mm.
didn't know what it was at the time,
Yeah, yeah.
and the changes that's meant for you, but
Yeah.
also from the my side.
Yep. It's got
I'm
to
not
involve
trying.
you.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. This isn't
All
about.
about
I'm going to
me.
get attacked by women here. This is not about me saying my feelings are more important or what
No,
is
but
worse on me. But for men, it can be. Well, what happens to my wife or my partner?
yeah.
They have just totally changed. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's just about us becoming educated as men about
Mm.
what you ladies are going through, and we'll never understand it. Of course we
Yeah,
won't,
yeah.
because we can't walk a mile in your shoes. But just what it's like for on
Yeah.
our side and how we can help
Mm.
our
Mm.
partners um, go through it, I suppose, and be there for them, but also
Mm.
be prepared for what's coming from
Mm.
us as well, because there are some mornings where you look like you are going to rip my head off.
That's just standard.
Well, you've been going through paranormal since we met. um,
But
so
yeah, yeah. So
we,
I think that that'll be useful because even the group of my friends, we're all the same age. We're all 41 this year. They don't have a clue. They've admitted they don't
you
have a
don't look a
clue
day over
what.
25.
Oh, I know we're all fabulous. But yeah, they don't know anything about perimenopause. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
And that's mad because they're already discussing that they think they may potentially be going through from the symptoms that they're telling me. It's something to learn more about.
yeah.
So I really feel quite passionate that it's something that should be like you know
Discuss more.
yeah
People need to be educated, right?
yeah, more
Yeah,
education on that for males and females
yeah.
because
Well,
it's
more importantly for females, of course.
yeah, yeah, but for males to be aware of
Right.
that, I mean, a local company had someone in training the company and educating them about it because it's such a big thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. So
So yeah,
we,
we'll do a little
I only
episode
want to
on
stop
that.
you because I don't want you to give
No,
all
no,
the
no.
information away in this one, and then people, no one's going to tune back in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
cliffhanger. You got to leave people wanting
yeah,
more.
yeah. Clickbait.
So we want to start doing podcasts that maybe be more focused on a particular subject as well. So
Yeah, yeah,
there's a couple of
yeah,
ideas we've got already. We're
yeah.
not sure when we're going to do
A
them yet,
mixture
but
of business, normal life,
same
and
stuff as before. But I think
yeah,
just a
but
bit more
yeah,
focused on some of them. Be more
yeah,
right.
yeah.
This is just, instead of us rambling
I've
like this.
rambled, haven't I?
We've all
Oh, I'm looking at
rambled.
the time now, thinking I've rambled.
We've all rambled. I don't know how we've got to the time we're on.
Mm,
We've just been talking nonsense, which is a normal thing. But
mm,
that's what I'm trying to say is that so some will be like that, the normal that you've had before, but others
yeah.
might be more specific.
Mm,
45 minutes might even be an hour if the
mm,
subject needs it
mm,
on our experience and yeah, whatever the the topic is. So if it's perimenopause, menopause, whether it's doing things on a budget, we also talk about things like trying to do podcasts on 5 free marketing things you can do to market your business that are free.
mm,
It won't cost you a single penny.
mm,
What we use to market our business and stuff, which I'm sure our
mm,
competitors will pinch. But
mm,
look, hey, I'm a believer of if you're going to do it, you're going to do it anyway. Like, none
mm,
of us are really reinventing the wheel here. There's
mm,
only very few people that's that creative that can reinvent the
mm,
wheel. Most of us
mm,
are looking at what somebody else has done and doing a variation upon that
mm,
for ourselves. And if you're going to do it, you're going to do it anyway, whether you've seen my video or
mm.
podcast or whatever it is.
Well, it is nice to put your own spin on things. But yeah, yeah, a competitor had stolen my actual slogan, hadn't they?
Yeah,
Actually, that was quite interesting.
yeah.
But
Quite.
hey ho.
Loser. But no, but that's what we're
Mm,
all doing, isn't it? Like I say, and I think we've said this before, actually, haven't we? That I
mm,
don't. This
mm,
might sound really big headed now, and it's not meant to. But I'm not that bothered about people copying us
mm,
because I feel that me and you are quite creative, and
mm,
we're always coming up with ideas for things. The one thing we always struggle with is mostly is actually time to execute them more than
mm,
anything else.
mm, mm.
Um, so in that respect, I'm not too worried if people. That's the whole idea, though, isn't it? Is you're giving the
Mm.
education for people to learn and try it. So yeah,
Well, it's
it's
just
not
nice to
copying,
be
is it?
authentic, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just better to be yourself. You can soon see if it's not the real you. You do you, honey.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we could probably wrap that up. It was just like to really get back into it, really, wasn't it? Like you say, that we're going to have a variety of
No,
things.
I've
And
just thought of something. It's just come to my head. I think our
mm,
background music
mm.
should be that very classic song.
Do you need to say that now?
I'm horny, so horny, horny, horny. There's a reason. There's a reason. It's not because I'm. There's
I
a
think we're on
reason.
different
It's because you look so beautiful.
chapters.
There's a reason. Parker, our son,
Oh, that was funny.
in the van the other week. I don't know where we were going. That's irrelevant. But the radio was on, and he was on his iPad as he normally is now because our kids are just stuck in these flipping electrical devices. They drive me nuts. Anyway,
Mm,
I'm driving. He's in the middle on
mm.
his iPad. Helen's on the outside. And the song comes on the back on the radio.
Yeah.
I'm horny, so horny, horny, horny. Now it's a very
Honey,
repetitive song,
honey,
isn't it? I mean,
honey
it's basically all she
tonight.
sings is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
over
yeah.
and over and over again. And kids being kids, they pick up on that little bit and they run with it.
So honey,
So the music's on.
honey,
Me and Helen
honey,
aren't singing
honey
it because,
tonight.
for obvious reasons, we're not going to be singing that around a 9 or 10-year-old. And all of a sudden, this little meek voice next to me just starts saying,
Yeah.
I'm horny, so horny, horny, horny. And me and Helen just look at each other like, what on earth do we do here? Hold on. Is that your phone?
I've put it on Do Not Disturb.
Well, it's disturbing, isn't it? Jesus. Need to report that to Apple. Your do not disturb doesn't work. Or
I have put
my
it on
wife
Do
does not
Not Disturb.
understand do
Oh,
not disturb.
that means it must be an emergency one, which is parents and you.
But not
You're not
me, is
calling
it?
me. You might be pocket calling me.
Okay, cool. It was horny, horny, horny. So, yeah, it was just hilarious. He started singing this song, I'm horny, horny, horny. And me and
Yeah.
you just look at each other, burst out laughing. He's like,
Mm,
what? What? No, nothing, son. We'll explain it to you another time.
yeah.
It just that song just came into my head when we said about songs.
No, I know. Yeah. But it makes you think, we were all singing that when we were 15, getting ready to go out
Oh,
on the
I tell
town.
you.
So hard. You just ignorance is bliss.
It's so
I mean,
oh,
look, think of all. I mean, there have been numerous songs that we've had to turn off in front of him. He's 10
yeah.
over the years. You know, the
The
satisfaction
words.
song, do do do, can't get those, and you just like, oh my god, I was singing that
What that one?
as a
Don't want no short
teenager.
dick, man.
Oh, yeah, like eeny weeny teeny weeny squirrel little meow
Honestly,
meow.
the lyrics of songs are
Oh yeah,
awful.
I know.
Awful.
That's a podcast in itself, though.
Honestly, awful. So, yeah, I
Oh
think that's
dear.
probably it for this one, isn't it, really? I think it's
Yeah,
probably a good moment to wrap it up now we spoke about short dick men.
yeah.
That's not swearing, it's just because I'm doing the song, so that,
Yeah,
that can't count.
it's the song,
That
yeah.
can't count. I'm just saying the
Mm,
song.
mm.
So, yeah, we're going to do one every 2 weeks, aren't we? That's what we've
Yeah, every
agreed
2 weeks,
because
yeah,
we
yeah.
found it really difficult doing one every
Do every
week.
week,
And
yeah,
then we
yeah.
not ended up doing them and it just didn't work.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
we're going to commit to one every 2 weeks because
sure.
this was always supposed to fit in between life as well, wasn't it? Because
Yeah,
we said this in a previous
and we didn't wanna
podcast.
resent it. We wanted it to
No,
just be a natural chat,
we only just got our
free
weekends
therapy.
back not long ago. And then doing this every weekend, I was
Mm,
like, oh my God,
yeah.
it just does take a long time. So,
Mhm.
we're going to do it every other weekend. But yeah, it is interesting because we both said we feel like it's therapy.
Yeah,
And it's weird
odd,
because I'm talking
odd.
to you like I talk to you in the
I
morning,
know. We have
but
2
it's just
cups of
different.
tea with each other in the
Well, you
morning.
have coffee,
I have
although
coffee,
that's
you
changed,
have
but
tea.
that's for
I'm having
perimenopause.
yep, yep.
Keep it a
Mhm.
secret.
Keep it,
Watch next week to
keep
find out
it.
more.
Keep plugged in to hear
Keep
more.
locked in here on next week's
Sign and
episode.
subscribe. If you
Subscribe,
do wanna subscribe, you can.
please.
I'm doing the face. So, yeah.
So we're going to every other
Mm.
week
Mhm.
because family time is really important to us.
And tell them the different stations that we're on.
What if I don't know the different stations we're on? You didn't preempt me yet. So we're on Apple Podcast,
Yeah.
Spotify Podcast,
Yeah.
Google have a podcast system. We're on there.
Mhm.
YouTube, obviously.
Mhm. To see
Um,
if you wanted to
if you
see the
watch
actual
it.
video.
So, and
And then
if you haven't
Instagram.
watched it, if you are enjoying listening to us,
Mm.
I would say probably give us a watch as well, only
Mm.
because your face is just,
I
it's a
think that's
whole
what
different
made us think
dimension
we
to the
have to do the
podcast.
video, obviously, because you do the videos, but also, like, facial expressions within our family are quite a big thing.
Yes. So if you're enjoying listening, I would say tune into one, have a look,
Yeah.
and see what you think. But yeah,
Mm.
so yeah, and then we're going to start doing the social clips again as well,
Yeah.
which we haven't been
On
doing. So
Instagram and Facebook.
they'll start
Yeah.
again in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, here we are. We're back, season 2, raring to go.
Yeah.
I don't
Mm.
feel as nervous now as I did, what, 30 minutes ago? Yeah, 30-ish minutes ago as I glance over at the clock and you
Mm.
glance over at your clock.
45 minutes.
No, 30.
Nearly. Oh, we've been over 30 minutes.
Yeah, about 33 minutes, 34 minutes,
Oh, okay.
I think.
No, it's longer than that, but we'll see at the end.
She does this. I'm going to turn this into a dating thing instead. Any free ladies out there. So yeah, I
Okay.
think that is a natural end.
Fabulous. So
So,
we'll look forward to seeing everybody in 2 weeks' time.
well, we don't actually see anybody, technically. They see us. or listen to
That's
us.
correct, darling.
Yes, technically. So on that note, thank
Mm.
you.
Have a great week ahead.
Great week. Well, it depends when you're watching it. Have a great day,
Yeah,
great evening,
or
great
evening.
morning, great lunch.
Mm.
Cover all aspects. Thanks, Mum
Supper.
and Dad, for supporting us.
And feel free to like and subscribe so that you'll be the first to hear about our new episodes.
Oh, she does. She loves it. She loves it. Next week, she can get me doing all these splash things on the screen, saying like and subscribe, like and subscribe. But yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
and look forward to the next one.
Yeah. Until then, bye for
Bye.
now.
Don't know which cameras to look at. Just wave. Look at all three.